Hi there, I'm Mike. What I have for you today is Chopper, or C110P, or C110P. He's Chopper. Let's go ahead and take a look at this picture of him while I read the bio on the back of the box. Chopper is the resident droid of the Ghost, assisting the crew in everything from ship maintenance to combat, even though he doesn't always want to. After many years of repairs and patch jobs, Chopper has a beat-up, worn look that matches his sometimes cranky personality. Here he is outside of the box, and he is a squat, cute-looking droid. Chopper is part of the Rebels crew from the Star Wars Rebels TV show, so if you haven't watched that, you might not know who this is. So, I mean, that's who this is. But if you're not a fan of Rebels or have never seen it, he's also in Rogue One. He has a very brief cameo on Yavin 4. I think he's actually one of the first characters that started off in one of the Star Wars cartoons and then transitioned over into a live action movie. It actually kind of warms my heart a little bit to know that they actually made this little guy in real life. Like, he's out there somewhere right now in this world. I just really like that. So in terms of likeness, let's take a look at that. My first instinct was, this is wrong, especially if you compare it to the other astromechs that Hasbro made so far. He is very wide and very squat. Now, it matches the kind of aesthetic that the Rebels and Clone Wars cartoon shows have. They have a more stylized kind of look about them. When they have been translating those characters into the Black Series line, they've been making them a lot more realistic looking. I kind of, at first, thought that they messed up with Chopper here because he definitely looks like he came from a cartoon. When you go back and look at the actual live action versions of him, this is what he looks like. This is exactly what this character looks like in real life. Hasbro nailed it, I guess. Also, in terms of likeness, I mean, what would he be without his fun little folding arms? So you can fold out his little arms here, and that's just, it's important. He actually has these out most of the time. So they could have just put the arms out on the end and just had them removable, but it's a cool little feature. They made him be able to fold them up, and that's a lot of fun. And it really goes a long way to giving this the full point for likeness. I definitely think that Hasbro nailed the look of this droid. He looks exactly how he should on screen. I couldn't be happier with the way this guy looks now that I realize that he looks like he should. So let's talk about accessories. Typically, droids don't have a lot of accessories, with the very exception of the first R2-D2 that came out, that came with a bunch of little add-ons and things. Most droids and small figures like this come with almost nothing. That's not the case with Chopper. First of all, he has his third leg right here. Chopper, unlike R2-D2 and other astromech units, instead of having like a tripod leg, he actually just has a full-on wheel. It's kind of cool that you can just manually put it up and pull it down. I will say though, if you get it all the way up in there, it can be hard to pull back down, so be careful. The wheel freely turns, and then when it's down, it actually stays in place pretty well, and it comes out really easily. Now, why does it come out? Why don't they just have it up there like they do with R2, where you turn the head to raise and lower it? That's because in that same hole, he also comes with this fun little kind of jetpack. I guess not a jetpack, but just the thruster accessory, jet flame accessory. One of the things that Chopper does often in the show is he flies. He has a little rocket that kind of comes out here. The rocket though, when you push it all the way up, it does not go all the way in, and this flame accessory part, it does not come off. It's all one piece, although it does turn. What do you do with this though? You can't really put it down. The flame comes down further than that. So he also comes with this fun little kind of base stand for him to sit on. This part does fit snugly in if you push it down a little bit, although it wouldn't push too hard. It actually comes packaged this way. The stand for this is amazing. It's all molded out of the same kind of translucent plastic that the flame is, and it comes down and then it kind of generally becomes more smoky and gray to give it sort of a cloud look. And it actually has a little bit of articulation. Mostly it's just leaning one way or another, but if you want him to kind of look like he's angling off, you can. Hasbro didn't have to do this. And they don't really do a lot of stuff like this in the Black Series line in general, so I'm just really happy that Hasbro started to go in this direction. Since it does come packaged like this, be careful when you're pulling it out. I had a hard time getting it out here because it's packaged just like this, and I didn't want to break anything. It was just really hard to get everything out of the little tray, so just kind of be careful with that. The last accessory is actually an alternate leg, and the reason for that is there's one episode where Chopper sees a leg that matches this one, which I guess is his original one and not this one, although I actually like this leg a little better. He spends the whole episode basically shirking his duties of what he's supposed to be doing and standing guard to watch out for Imperials to try to find the leg that matches this one. So this easily pops off, not too easily, but it's not hard to bring it up. You don't feel like you're gonna break it. It's a little ball socket kind of thing. And then this one pops right in the same way. So it gives you sort of just an alternate display if you want him to have the look from that episode, or if you want him to look like he does pretty much every other episode, you have options. And this is something that I wish Hasbro did more, especially with the Rebels line. And because of all this stuff, I honestly can't think of anything else that he should have come with, but didn't. For such a little guy, he's really packed to the gills with accessories. So I'm gonna give the accessories the full point. Next, let's talk about articulation. On top of being one of the most accessorized droids in the line, he's also, weirdly enough, one of the most articulated droids in the line, and figures in the line, especially for his size. So next we have articulation. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Chopper's antenna spins. His head does a 360. His arms come out. There's a ball socket here, so you get full range of movement this way and this way. His front arm comes out. There's a hinge at this, and again in the middle. It moves back and forth. His legs move all the way around. He has a hinge here and wheels here. His third leg moves up and down manually, and it does come out, and the wheel freely spins. With this being Chopper's widest stance with both his legs flat on the ground. First, I want to talk about his little kind of antenna thing up here. It's so small, and I don't want to break it. I don't think it's supposed to really bend, although it does. Just be careful with it. I'm not really experimenting with mine. I just want to point it out that it does feel like it can turn, but I don't want to snap it off accidentally. So just be careful. Next, we have the top of the dome. The whole dome spins at a 360-degree angle, and that's something that no astromech droid has really been able to do reliably, because every astromech droid released so far has been tied to the little tripod leg coming out as you turn this, which was neat at the time, but it does sort of hinder how you have the droid looking around if you want that little piece either all the way up or all the way down. Because if you turn it a little bit, it starts to lower. It's a nice feature that I never thought about until I got this, and I realized, yeah, this is much better. Next, obviously, both of his legs can move forwards and backwards. He also has a little bit of an ankle tilt at the bottom. That's not really anything to write home about, but also because of his squat size, he doesn't have to actually move it that far back. So I think it's okay for this, but I would have wished that you could have moved it a little bit more to get it more of an angle. But I think that it kind of works for his size. He also does have wheels on the bottom of his feet, as well as obviously his wheel when you pull it down. So he is a fun wheeled little droid. Honestly, could not be happier with the articulation. I'm gonna give it the full point. Next we have sculpt, paint, and detail. Let's look at the sculpt. First of all, there's just so much detail sculpted into the plastic. For the most part, the big pieces are sculpted in the color they should be, but I just can't get over the amount of detail and molding that is on here. We've got a lot of patchwork. We've got a lot of open kind of areas from head to toe, from front to back. You can spend an hour looking at all the detail on this. His face is well sculpted, well painted. It has a lot of scuffs, has a lot of scrapes, but the paint that they actually have on here is sharp as a tack. It's crisp, it's clean. There's no extra like paint smudges anywhere. Everything is painted exactly how it should be. Honestly, I could just gush for hours over how amazing the paint and detail and sculpt looks on this. I really can't get over how well they've done this, especially when you look at some of the other droids where the paint's been a little sloppy. Hasbro's really outdone themselves with this Chopper figure. So because of all that, he definitely earned that full point. And lastly, we have want and availability. If you had asked me even a year ago if I wanted a Chopper figure, I would have said, I mean, yeah, I want to finish the Rebels cast, but he's not one that I'm looking forward to. I really think he should be an accessory for like a Hera or Ezra or like an extra pack-in. He shouldn't be a figure by himself, because he's such a small little droid, and I'm tired of paying 20 bucks for just a small droid. Smash cut to now, and he might be my favorite figure from the Rebels line, and maybe line in general, honestly. So while I didn't necessarily want him, other than I wanted to complete my Rebels crew, I'm definitely glad that they gave him to us, because Hasbro just absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. I've never really paid $20 for a figure this size and not felt cheated until now. In terms of availability, I mean, he's part of the newest line that's just hitting stores right now. You can also buy him online. He's actually packaged 2 to a case. So the odds of seeing him in store are higher than some of the others because there's an extra one of him in the case. He's not an army builder. People don't need multiple choppers in their collection probably. So the odds you'll see him hanging on pegs are pretty high. But if you are having trouble finding him, I recommend getting him online. I got mine from Hasbro Pulse. In fact, I bought this whole wave from Hasbro Pulse. I got them all in individual boxes, so I had just a pile of boxes with one figure in them each. I ordered them at the same time. They shipped at the same time. Hasbro, your distribution is a mess. You need to fix that. There's no reason I should get 6 separate boxes for 6 figures. But I'm not letting that keep me down. I'm gonna give Chopper the full point for his want and availability. He should be pretty available, and I definitely want him now, although maybe I didn't at first. So that gives us a final score of a 5 out of 5. This, weirdly enough, is what I consider to be pretty much a perfect figure. Now, this may not be a perfect figure to you. You may not care about Chopper at all. You may have a hard time seeing it, but I promise you, in hand, this is a fantastic, plucky little droid. One of my favorite figures in the entire line, and you'll probably be seeing it in my top 10 list of 2019. I really tried hard to find places to dock him a little bit, but every time when I go through my criteria, everything just gets checked off. I mean, now all we need is a Zeb to complete our Rebels crew, but on top of that, I also want them to make an AP5. AP5 is Chopper's kind of protocol droid companion, like C-3PO is to R2-D2. Hasbro, you listening? Get on this. So if you're looking to complete your Rebels crew, or you want a random background Rogue One droid, or you just like droids in general, I can't recommend this enough. But he is definitely worth the pickup. So that's it for my Chopper review. What did you think? Do you have him? Did you agree with me? Did you not agree with me? Are you not going to pick him up because you don't really care about Rebels? Let me know. Let's have a conversation about it down in the comments. There's also a couple different ways that you can support my channel down in the downstairs area. If you want to, go ahead and click around down there to see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. Like, share, subscribe. If you could do those, they really do help the channel out a lot. And that's it. Thanks for getting this far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.